Hello friends, we have really enjoyed bringing the Techno Chat series to you. While our previous sessions were brought to you from our studio, today we're going to take you to an exciting trip to one of our recent installs. Bringing to you insights from a functional site will help us realize various aspects that are going in deploying audio, video and lighting technologies to meet the demands of our facility and the customer. We will be featuring two very strong personalities in the nightlife space and get insights from them on how this segment of hospitality is returning back to normal. So let's go and welcome our guest for today. Friends, let me give you a brief about Mr. Vineet Wadhwani. Vineet is the managing partner for Crescendo AV and is a well-known personality in nightlife AV integration space. He has to his credits many iconic installations and have been helping his clients create some amazing experiences for more than 3 decades. A few notable Vineet's installations have been Playboy in Jaipur, Piano Man Gurgaon and Fuzzy Cafe in Aero City. Welcome to the HARMAN TechKnow Chat, Vineet. Very nice to have you. Thank you very much for taking our time.
Thanks, Ashish. I'm glad to be here and thank you for connecting again. It's really a pleasure.
I'm sure we're going to have a lot of fun. We are at this wonderful site. But before I talk about the site, I want to really pick a point and talk about you. You have such a rich experience in the nightlife AV industry. So how your journey has been?
It's been a long one, Ashish. It started off when I was just 19 years old. And we started selling push-button phones. You know, the first push-button phone that was sold in the country was probably sold by me when I was all of 19. And my dad wanted to do this on my own, so I was a very shy guy and I didn't know how I'd managed to sell. And the first sale, like I told you before, was done to the managing director of a large paint company. And since the product was unique and everybody wanted it for their homes or offices, we had to sell to large corporates, we had to sell to Maharajas, we had to sell to Union Home Minister, etc., etc. So it was quite a task for me to actually go in and do that. But after making my first 5 sales, I was quite confident. And then we had a large sales team. So we continued selling push-button phones and dialers. Believe me, you don't even see such phones today. The kinds we had then sold in the 80s.
Okay.
You know, and 5 years later, Philips came to us. And they were impressed with some of my sales guys who had gone to sell a phone to them. And they wanted to meet me. And they came over and said, why don't you sell our audio systems? So we moved in maybe 1987 with Philips, which was now Bosch. And we started doing primarily public address systems and conference systems. And I think it would be easier for me to mention which ministry did not have a conference system that was installed by us. There were very few that we must have missed. But then I always wanted to move on to a more exciting part of audio because I always loved sound. I always loved lights. And then came this era of pubs and clubs opening up outside of 5-star hotels. That's when we thought we must get into that. And we started selling a lot to most of the nightclubs and pubs and bars and fun places in Delhi, in NCR and around.
So what has been your drive behind your desire to excel?
So I've always been passionate about whatever I wanted to do. I think that drives most of the people. If you're doing something that you love, you do it well. So we've been passionate. I've been a perfectionist. So even if it's a small takeaway restaurant, Moti Mahal Deluxe, for example, with a takeaway sort of outfit where they just need 2 speakers in the ceiling, we give it the same importance as we would give a large nightclub.
So your passion and your love for the sound actually got us to the business and you wanted to deliver that passion for everyone who comes to the event.
And the nightclub and the pub part of it has been the most exciting part of sound that we handled. And we never did lights, but thanks to you, you got us into Martin Lights, and Martin Lights are undoubtedly the #1 in the world. And we've been very happy selling HARMAN products as well.
So what major changes have you seen in this space? I mean, you have been in this industry for such a long time. How do you see the panning of the changes in this?
So through the years that we've been doing audio for so long, all we did was ceiling speakers and the basic commercial sound columns and stuff like that, designing public venues. But when it comes to nightlife, the whole thing changes. A lot of technology comes in. A lot of acoustics has to be planned before you do a sound system. So it started off small, but it's really taking off now. And people are beginning to understand what good sound can do to their venue.
So how do you think, India fares in the technology deployment, I would say, in the clubs and the bars? What's the acceptability of the technical part of it?
So like is known to everybody and is unique to India. We always seem to start off late, but then when we start off, we don't stop, and then we really take it up and do it well. So over the years, we've also seen pubs and bars evolve. The owners of those pubs and bars understand that they need good audio, good lighting to make the place really vibe with their customers. And we try to explain to them that if sound is good and you also handle the acoustics of the venue well, the customer will enjoy it more. He'll stay there longer and come back more often.
Okay.
So they've started understanding that now. So I would say that 6 years ago, when we started explaining acoustics to a client, he wouldn't understand. Our success rate on that account was 10%. But today, luckily, I would say it's gone up to 40-50%, and people do understand that acoustics for a venue is almost as important or more important than the audio system itself.
So picking from that movie, I don't know what was that, it said entertainment, but I think 3 words for this industry is F&B, ambience, and the AV experience,
Yes.
which I think is getting important.
Exactly,
Which is
it's getting important. People are realizing that the places that are, of course, the owner has to do everything right.
Right.
But if he's got his audio and his lighting and his acoustics in place correctly, it pays off for itself. He realizes the entire experience for the customer becomes very, very satisfying. It's wholesome.
Okay. So, we are recovering from this pandemic, this situation at the moment. How do you think that things are quickly settling in? How's industry kind of responding to it?
Yeah, so it's been 365 days almost of my my prayers to the Lord to end this pandemic, because it's been awful, especially for our industry where we operate. We know a lot of owners very closely. Some of them have really suffered very badly because of the lockdowns and all. But as I see it now, I think it's just about 6 months away, and it'll come back faster, and you'll see it. It'll come back much faster, and how.
Yeah, one of the reports I read, it mentioned that hospitality, including nightlife, is the worst hit market because everything was shut. But it is the best market that's going to recover as the market opens up, because we are social animals. We can't sit at home. We all will actually come out, which we have started. We see a lot of people around.
Yeah.
So
surely, this is definitely going to open up. It's hard to keep people at home.
So how Harman blends with your design ideologies? Do you have a favorite Harman brand that you kind of?
So JBL, of course, because we sell that a lot, and Martin's become a really dear brand for me, because I know that what it can do for a venue, maybe even the audio can't do. It's creating such a fantastic ambience. And the last few Martin cum JBL installs that we've done, we've even gone to places like Itanagar and Raigad, where we've got Martin lights in place. And those venues are doing very well in those very small towns as well.
So acceptability of a high-end AV system is also kind of coming up from the small, you can say, small towns. Okay.
Now what is happening is lights were not going into nightclubs, at least not into pubs and stuff. But now the pubs that have a little dance floor, because they want to keep that provision open in case they have to take the music louder and they can get more crowd, they've started realizing that lights are also important.
Okay.
So if this happens now and this trend catches up, there's going to be a lot of more lights selling to these venues than just the audio.
So you have done some wonderful installs, I'm sure. You're going to pick one or two exciting
Well, we've done quite a few for Harman now. And the easy ones have been the Raigar and the Itanagars, and the Fuzzy Cafe we did for Vishal was not such a tough one. But I think of late, the tough ones that we've done were Playboy Jaipur, the Piano Man in Gurgaon. And then, of course, our
own Saga.
latest
Okay.
Saga. So Saga is a unique one, with a ceiling as high as that. And our staff was worried in the beginning when they saw the heights, and everything had to be done at a 52 feet height, at the venue. So I was also very worried about safety, etc. But Vishal took care of that. Just one call to him, and he'd make sure that safety was adhered to, and everything was done to make sure that the staff is not at risk. So I had a thumping chest all the time, worried at home when they were working at night. They've even worked 52 hours at a stretch at Saga and not slept at all, But we were very happy with, the response that we got from Vishal.
So what's the uniqueness about Saga? Now share with us like some detail part of it.
Because Saga is really a unique install in every sense. And it definitely excited us to put this down from concept to the install stage. It's the only nightlife venue in India to feature the famous VTX A8 line arrays with the VTX B18 subs. The audio that we've been able to deliver for Vishal and his visiting artists as well as his guests has elevated the experience to really another level. Saga is going to be a venue to watch out for. I've already spoken to friends. Some of them have already dined here as well. The site presented us with a lot of challenges, I told you, because of the height of the place with respect to the install. Being in the midst of corporate offices, and now there's a hospital coming up right next door, which should be open in a few months. They have a residential condo right behind them. And, it's a 51 feet high ceiling. It's got a lot of glass, which makes it look beautiful and grand. All this is very tough for the audio engineer. So your team has brilliantly managed to take care of all that with the right kind of dispersion angles and tuning and calibration of sound. But Vishal has also understood that acoustics is important. So he's done a fair amount of soundproofing. He's done a lot of, acoustics inside for uniform distribution of sound.
Right.
So we make sure that there's good sound coming to every ear, on every seat in Saga. And that's what good design is all about.
Well, it's actually wonderful. I mean, this happens to be one of our first installs also for the newly launched VTX A8. And it's very impressive the way the grandeur of the site is. I mean, it has come up very well. But Vineet, I think it was a great conversation. Thank you very much.
We're
going to just take it forward. We will actually want to call upon the man behind the whole design concept, the man who actually envisaged that how he's going to bring this up. So let's kind of take a quick break and actually invite Mr. Vishal Anand, the man behind this whole thought.
Yeah.
Okay, let's go and catch hold.
Thanks,
Thank you.
Ashish.
So brief about the man behind this whole design concept, Vishal Anand. Vishal is the founder of Moonshine Food Ventures and has experience in diversified fields from finance to real estate to power infrastructure to F&B. F&B is what excites him the most, and he has few interesting and beautiful restaurants in Delhi and Gurgaon. Fuzzy Cafe Aerocity, Papaya Gurgaon, Cafe Stay Woke in Gurgaon, and most notably, Saga. Saga is a performance bar with a niche menu curated by Michelin star chef Atul Kochar. Saga also happens to feature one of the tallest bar displays in the world. Let us welcome Vishal as well and get him to share few of his experiences and talk more about this beautiful facility, Saga. Vishal, thank you very much for joining us today and taking our time, and welcome to the HARMAN TechKnow Chat.
Thank you for having me over to Techno.
Thank you. So we are at this venue for last couple of hours and we're really enjoying it. Trust me, I mean, I'm really enjoying the whole grandeur of this site. But tell us something about how the whole idea or the concept about the Saga came up.
Saga happened, we were supposed to open something else over here. We came here to expand our existing brand called Saints and Sinners.
Okay.
But when I walked into the building and saw the height, and so it reminded me of a cathedral. That's the kind of height you get, when you walk into a cathedral.
Right.
So narrow space, but really tall. So we decided that we wanted to do something different over here. And we wanted to do something on the traditional age-old lost recipes of India, where, I see most of the restaurateurs today, or most of the people going towards fusion food, modern Indian. But yeah, we are modern, but we're trying to get back the historical recipes. So that Saga is all about every recipe, every dish has a story to talk about. So everything at Saga we wanted to do was there should be a story behind everything that we do here. So then we saw this, we saw this space, and we realized that we could create one of the tallest bar displays in the world over here. So we now have a 40 feet tall bar display, which is possibly the tallest bar display in the world.
Oh, nice.
We are waiting for Guinness certification. So, we've applied for the same. They would be coming in for measurement soon. And once we have the certification, we'll have another feather in our cap.
Right.
So, so Saga is all about, it's an amalgamation of great food, great drinks. Also, we have a huge stage, the sound. Overall experience is what we wanted to bring into our guest. The amalgamation of food, drinks, ambience, music. So that's what Saga is all about. So we roped in, we wanted to do with the best. So we roped in a Michelin star chef, Atul Kocher, to do our menu and be the chef partner here.
Okay, nice. So you're putting all the experiences together and creating that wow factor for your guests.
Absolutely.
Okay, that's great. So specific to my topic, I would say. So how do you push together all the technology pieces around? I mean, food is lovely. I'm sure I'm gonna love it. I'm gonna sit. My friends gonna love it. So on the technology, how you put all that technology piece together?
I got into this business because of music, because of my passion for music. So Saints and Sinners were a place which was meant for music and live performances. And then we realized the importance of audio and lighting as well. So when we opened our next venue, Farzi, we brought in the best. So we used HARMAN, and I'm thankful to HARMAN, Vineet and his entire team. Also thankful to Sajak for designing the whole system here, and my sound engineer Sahil. So all this put together, we wanted to bring in the best. So since my journey started with my passion for music in this space, so every venue that we're creating, we give space to live performances, and we give a lot of importance to technology and audio and lighting around it. So similarly at Farzi Cafe Aerocity, it has, it's known to have great performances. And at Saga, we possibly have one of the largest stage in any restaurant in India. And obviously the finest audio systems installed by you.
So you mentioned about Vineet. I mean, I've worked with him on quite a few sites. I mean, Farzi was one of them in Aerocity. Then we worked on Piano Man, Playboy in Jaipur. So he has been really one of our key partners delivering that experiences. So thanks to him actually on about it. What overall HARMAN, what convinced you to use HARMAN as a technology partner?
So honestly, we were very, very happy with what we did at Farzi Cafe Aerocity with Vineet and HARMAN together. And we wanted to, get a level up this time. So when Vineet and Sajak came to me with, putting in line array speakers, so I also realized that this place is really like a concert venue. So we decided that let's give it the best. And we have not compromised at all. Whatever suggestions that came from Vineet and Sajak, we immediately approved that. And today we have a beautiful, beautiful sound system.
Yes, I do.
I mean, I am really thankful. I mean, the system that you have deployed here, I mentioned to Vineet also. I mean, it is actually one of the class apart. It's a beautiful system that HARMAN or JBL actually brings in. So thank you for kind of choosing and investing in the best one. So that's good. While ago, I asked Vineet also about this. I mean, we kind of came out of this pandemic right now. A lot of disruption, obviously, that's created to the market. But as a business owner, how do you see this change affecting the industry or overall your business?
So, every business has gone through a very, very difficult time in the past 1 year, and particularly hospitality, food and beverage industry. In particular, we've been hit the most. Right. But having said that, every recession or every such incident, there's also an opportunity. So I feel it's an opportunity for the serious players to get their act together and change with time. So what I see the change here now is, going forward, all my venues certainly will have great outdoors.
Okay.
So that's one of the biggest change that I've seen post-pandemic, that everybody, I feel the need to dine outdoors. So that's one need which has been created
So
post-pandemic.
that's why you have a very beautiful al fresco down here.
Absolutely.
So,
We have great al fresco. We have about 60 odd covers in the al fresco area. We have a separate bar in the al fresco area. So that's one of the biggest change, and that I feel post-pandemic. And secondly, the guests are now looking at hygiene as one of the most important factors.
Okay.
So that's where the opportunity is for serious players to get better on hygiene and work on creating a brand which believes in hygiene. So we are all working towards that, and I see guests now actually dining at more places which are actually very, very conscious about hygiene. So that's an area that we have to work on.
So two big recalibrations, like one is the outdoor sitting you said,
Yeah.
and hygiene definitely.
Hygiene was never compromised at our place, but now the
It's of the utmost importance right now.
It's
Okay.
absolutely.
Okay. So these two recalibrations that you are thinking towards your business to bring in for your
Right.
guest. Okay.
Yeah. And the people that we've always stood by our people. The team has been doing an outstanding job post-pandemic. They are also eager to bounce back. I see that fire in them to bounce back. And we've supported the team all through the pandemic. So you are nothing without the team.
So forget about that you're an owner of that property. Okay. So question is, if you're a guest to a place like this, does audio really plays a big difference for a good dining experience? Or does it have any impact on it?
Absolutely. Audio plays a very, very important role while you're dining, even if it's so our place has two aspects to it. One is we call fine dining, which is during the day from 12 till about 9, 10 o'clock.
Okay.
And then 10 onwards till middle of the night, we convert ourselves into a very high energy bar, music. So during the day, the music that we play while dining, when you're fine dining, it just complements to your whole dining experience. So if the sound is good, you also enjoy the overall ambience, you enjoy the overall experience of dining at a particular place. And obviously post 10 o'clock, when you want to party, you certainly need great sound. So I think sound plays a very, very important role, and the genre of music that is being played also plays a very important role at any event.
So like you mentioned, you both have a passion for music, right? A love for music. So I'm sure you guys also give your insights when you do the music playlist curation about it, how we kind of put the theme around it.
Yeah.
Okay. So how has been your experience, I would say, from overall Harman perspective? Are you happy with the deliverables? How is the overall experience? Are you satisfied? Has it come up to your expectations?
I'll sum it up. So when we were doing the sound check before launch, we were all very worried about the sound because of the height of the building, and it's a narrow space. So I was very, very concerned because sound check could happen only in the end once the venue was ready.
Right.
Unfortunately, you can't do sound check before the venue is ready.
Right.
So we had to get the venue ready first and then do the sound check. And we were just about a week before the launch. But on the night of the sound check, I went back home and woke up my wife at 1:30 after the sound check. And I actually told her that I need to share something. And I told her that I'm so proud that I tied up with Harman, and what a beautiful job they've done. So that's how I would like to convey my feelings.
Thank you very much. It's a very wonderful comment. I have heard very positive about. I'm gonna stay back hopefully tonight and hear it out as well.
I had goosebumps the day we did the sound check. The first, there was a classical fusion song played in sound check, and one of my favorites. So I just
thank you very much for this
that.
appreciation. It really, really means a lot. It is very good. So very good. Hopefully it continues. We are there to support and kind of connect with you again on more bigger venues, whatever you kind of build together and be partners there. But I think thank you very much for this conversation. It has been a great hearing this from you, your story about the whole architecture and the theme behind it, the whole thought about the food and how the ambience is important, putting the whole piece together. So, but thank you very much for
so much.
both of you for this time.
Thank you.
Really appreciate
Pleasure
it.
was all
Wish
ours.
Vishal all the best.
Thank you so much.
All the best. Thank you very much.
Many more sagas.
Absolutely. Let's create more sagas together.
Done. So what's next?
let's raise a toast to Saga.
Okay, sure. Let's walk down to the bar and then do that. Okay. Thank you very much. Thank you, guys. Thank you. Please. Thank you for watching this episode. Moving away from the usual, we have given you glimpses of what you can expect from Harman and its brands. We are sure that you are excited to keep looking out for more. We will come back to you with our next episode with another industry expert soon. Keep watching this space for more. Subscribe to our channel. Details are mentioned below for your reference. Share your comments and views. Till then, stay safe, follow discipline, and stay healthy. Goodbye.